we're here in this God's little acre that we call Eggley Park. And to think just like 4 weeks ago, this place was looking. When we battered Bolton.
Quality nights. So we're back to 96, you know, when we was, we played West Ham.
Yeah.
It rained that night. Awful conditions. We sat further down there. Fantastic. It was in line with Ian Dowie's header. It's just ironic, as in, it was in line with Ashley Palmer's header for the equaliser. You know, like, yeah, it just brought back tremendous memories. It was like fantastic. A lot of day trippers here, but hey, who cares?
Well, there's a lot of memories for me personally. I mean, you know, when I used to come and I used to sit over there.
Yeah.
My granddad brought me, and they said that Friday night was always county night, and it was. We used to go over there. And my granddad's treat was Uncle Luke's mint balls or whatever they are.
Oh, I've seen them.
Uncle Luke's sweets. And we used to sit there, and he used to have them other ones that are like aniseedy.
Oh, aniseed sweets. My first game was at Darlington. I think it was 88, 89 season. It might have been 89 when I first came. It was East Radford was in charge. It was a boring. It was a boring 0-0 game.
East Radford was my old manager.
Was it?
Yeah.
Do you still keep in touch with it?
He was here last season. His son lives on actually.
Was it?
Yeah, his son's called Stuart.
Yeah. Good possible. Trying to get the bag open.
I thought you'd forgotten.
You know what? You always put a smile on my face, you do.
An orange one, right? So.
Orange kit, that wasn't it? That was John Daly against.
Yeah, Tony Didding.
What colour's that? Red or?
Red. County used to play red.
They did it. That was the season before they had the white Gordon Ford kit. I can picture that now. I can eat that now.
So, today we're just talking about opening up, really, aren't we?
Yeah. And do you know what, Nick? As daft as it sounds, sometimes you can't open up to your wife or other members of your family. Sometimes it's got to be a mate. And there's a few places where you can open up, say like a barber's. You might talk to a barber. Or your mates at football, you know, like your mates in the pub. You know, like then, we just had a good chat then. All you have to do is just get in a general conversation and just say, you okay, you know, like that. Which is what you've just done.
It's daft, really. I mean, especially at the moment with the current climate, there's a lot of people that are anxious and nervous and worried about what's going to happen. And it's something that's never really bothered me until I had my stroke, which obviously happened out of the blue, and the anxiety and depression kicks in. When you're sort of isolated, you feel at home, alone. And as a bloke, especially being a football fan, this is your chance to sort of release your
90 minutes.
Yeah.
90 minutes of, not to have a go at anyone, but you know, like to show your passion, you know, like, and it's mad. How did you feel, Nick, you know, when after you had your stroke and everything like that? How can I question this? Obviously you couldn't come football for a fair bit. How do you feel like, could you relate that to the current climate and everything? Could you relate to that at the time? Does that sound right?
To be honest, it's just when you, it's weird because when I used to work for a living, I used to be like a bit of a centre of attention. So like when the cleaners would come in the morning or last thing at night, you wait to talk to them and tell them a joke or whatever. My stroke happened, And out of the 100 people or so that I worked with at the time, 3 of them got in touch. So you feel very sort of isolated, you feel very alone. If it wasn't for my close friends and my family, I wouldn't be here today. I know I wouldn't. And there's times when I don't know if I'd ever take my own life.
But it'd be a cry for help if you'd try anything.
I think the problem is, or not much the problem, people have a misconception that, you know, if you're going through some sort of mental anxiety or whatever, then there's something wrong with you. But the truth is, there's something wrong with you if you don't. Because we all go through it. So, you know, and what's the big deal about opening up to someone and just talking to them, and, you know, as a human being, and say, look, I found this helped, or I found this scenario, and I think if you can just open up and guide, I mean, that's the whole thing with the charity, and that's why we're so sort of good at what we do, because we just relive, and we're helping people where we once were, and no one can make that up.
I mean, the reason why I got involved with yourself was to raise awareness, because I'm diabetic, as you're aware of, and I just wanted to raise awareness of, you know, like anyone with sort of like diabetes can be sort of like linked in, you know, like to having a stroke, and it's one of the diagnoses, isn't it?
Why have you bought sweets then if you're diabetic?
Bit naughty.
But yeah, I mean, going back to, nobody realises, I mean, a classic example for me that I do like to tell people is that my sister was born deaf.
Right.
And growing up as a kid, especially as a lad, I didn't really pay much attention to her, and I didn't really get involved with her, because it was just one of those things that we sort of did. We used to go to the Wallview house on a Tuesday and a Friday, and it wasn't until my stroke I knew what effectively you could lose. It makes you wonder how the hell do they cope with what they're going through. So the whole thing with like the charity is just to open up and talk about what their experiences are. And
it's a fantastic charity, Nick, and you know what, I'm proud, I feel privileged to be a part of your charity, and I feel humbled to be able to do fundraising for you, you know, and it's something I won't stop doing, because it gives me a sense of purpose in life, you know, like...
Exactly. I mean, although I'm obviously very grateful, that's the whole thing with the stroke survivor, is what we want to do is make them have a sense of purpose again, make them feel as though they're worthy, they're part of something. Even if it's volunteering for us, it makes them feel a part of something. I'm proud to also say that I've managed to get a couple of stroke survivors back into work. One of them actually here.
Fantastic.
And you know, it's not a massive amount of money for him, but
you've empowered him.
It makes him feel part of the crowd when
you've given that sense of empowerment by getting him employed again. And you know what? That's something that I believe in. You know, like especially when it don't matter whether you're homeless or just recovered from a major illness, giving them back some sort of pride and you know, like I'll say this word again, empowerment back in their life.
Yeah.
It gives them a belief, you know, like, hold on a minute, people are looking beyond my sort of like disability to speak. It's just a shame that people are waking up to the hidden disabilities now, such as mental ill health and things like that. Like, you know, like, I want to, if I was to meet you now in a pub or wherever on the street shopping, I would never guess you've had a stroke. And when you find out, people are too quickly to judge people. We're
a very judgmental society. I remember going and seeing an old boss of mine, believe it or not, places, the Etihad. And I walked up to John with my walking stick, and he went, "Bloody hell, Clarky, you don't look like you've had a stroke." And I said, "Well, John, I said, I've worked hard at my recovery. I said, what did you want me to look like? I'll go and sit in the corner and start dribbling if you want. And he went, no, I didn't mean that. I'm like, and it's your misconception that people that have had strokes, you think are just going to sit there and dribble. Well, not all of them are, because some of them, you know, some of us actually work hard at our recovery, and we want to help people.
And that road to recovery that you've done, Nick, full respect for you, mate. 1 potato, 2 potato.
So come on, we're here. So what's been your biggest...
You're turning the question onto me.
What's been your biggest achievement as a county fan?
Oh, there's too many to count, Nick. I can't. Do you know what? There was that time when Jim Gannon picked the lad up from Cobb Night. That was something. There's obviously counting getting back into the National League, the West End. Oh, there's too many to name, Nick. I can't name up. I can't pick up Bolton. I think whatever the next big occasion is obviously the next biggest achievement, and it's always something that, you know, I think the biggest achievement will be when we get back in that football league. I think that is something I'll savour.
Yeah, and it's something you should share with your friends and family as well, because you're passionate about, especially about this little club.
Oh, we both are, aren't we?
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, with recent events here, we've just witnessed a family going through a lot of grief at the moment.
Yeah.
And you know, the message really from here, from us on that is, don't be afraid to talk. Just pick up the phone or even a text message, whatever it takes. Just effectively swallow your pride and just say, I need some help.
You know what? That's going to lead me on to another question that is after the sound, Nick. Obviously, you know